welcome to the Media Outlet, the show where you can plug into all of the latest entertainment news. My name is Kaylin Brown, and I am the host for this week. Let's get this show started. First off is movie news. We are going to talk about some of the movies that are coming to theaters this Friday, November 11th. First up is Billy Lynn's long halftime walk. 19-year-old Billy Lynn is brought home for a victory tour after a harrowing Iraq battle. Through flashbacks, the film shows what really happened to his squad, contrasting the realities of war with America's perceptions. This stars Kristen Stewart, Vin Diesel, Steve Martin, and Joe Alwyn. The director, Ang Lee, used new technology, shooting at an ultra-high frame rate for the first time in film history to create an immersive digital experience, helping him to dramatize war in a way never seen before.
It's sort of weird being honored for the worst day of your life.
This movie is based on the bestseller by Ben Fountain, which was published in 2012. This film is going to make me so emotional, I can already tell. With it being so close to the election, everyone seems so divided and picking sides, so I hope this film can bring everyone together. Next is Arrival. When mysterious spacecraft touch down across the globe, an elite team led by expert linguist Louise Banks are brought together to investigate. As mankind teeters on the verge of global war, Banks and the team race against time for answers, and to find them, she will take a chance that could threaten her life and quite possibly humanity. Stars Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Forrest Whitaker.
What happens now?
They arrive.
They need to see me.
Dr. Banks? Are you insane?
Now that's a proper introduction.
This movie has a War of the Worlds vibe to me, and I dig it. It looks really cool. From what I can tell, the special effects are going to be on point, so you know I'm already planning my trip to go see this one. Next up is Shut In, a heart-pounding thriller about a widowed child psychologist who lives in an isolated existence in rural New England. Caught in a deadly winter storm, she must find a way to rescue a young boy before he disappears forever. This stars Naomi Watts and Charlie Heaton.
I haven't been sleeping that well. I saw Tom, but everybody's been saying he's dead.
Your sleep problems are making it difficult for you to distinguish your nightmares from reality.
I'm super excited for this suspenseful thriller. Any movie with a kid as their evil source of conflict is creepy enough for me. Again, these movies will be coming to movie theaters this Friday, November 11th. Next up, we are going to take it to Andy Johnson for his fun fact pack over movies that will be coming out over Thanksgiving and winter break.
What's going on, everybody? Andy Johnson here for the Media Outlet. Studios are showing more family films because of the holidays, but they do release some movies for young adults and beyond. I will tell you about 2 movies that you should see during the Thanksgiving break, and then 3 movies that you should see when we're on our winter break.
Maui, shapeshifter, demigod of the wind and sea, I am one
Hero of men.
What?
It's actually Maui, shapeshifter, demigod of the wind and sea, hero of men. I interrupted from the top. Hero of men. Go.
Up first in Thanksgiving, we've got Moana. A young woman uses her navigational talents to set sail for a fabled island. Joining her on her adventure is her hero, the legendary demigod, Maui. This is Disney Animation's second film of the year after Zootopia. The trailers have shown an interesting story. You should definitely check this one out if you liked Zootopia. It releases on November 23rd.
Don't worry, it's a lot farther down than it looks.
Lobbying is about foresight.
The next film you should see during Thanksgiving is Miss Sloane, a story of a brilliant and ruthless lobbyist who is notorious for unparalleled talent and her desire to win at all costs, even when it puts her own career at risk. This film is an independent film, so you may not be able to watch it at your local movie theater, but I believe it is a film that you should make an effort to see. It stars one of my favorite actresses and a fellow redhead, Jessica Chastain. She's just one of those actresses who becomes the character that she plays, and this seems like it's just another one of those instances. It hits theaters on Black Friday, November 25th.
About making sure you surprise them. And they don't surprise you.
State your name for the record.
Jin Urso.
Now let's move on to the winter break films. And we're going to start off with Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Jin Urso, a rebellion soldier and criminal, is about to experience her biggest challenge ever when Mon Mothma sets her out on a mission to steal the plans to the Death Star. With help from the rebels, a master swordsman, and non-allied forces, Jin will be in for something bigger than she thinks. Like I said before, I am a huge Star Wars fan, so of course I am super excited for this film. I mean, I kind of wished it was Episode 8, but this is still a Star Wars film, and everything that Lucasfilm has put out in the Star Wars universe since Disney acquired them has been great. This is without a doubt a must-see when it comes to basically every movie theater in the world on December 16th.
May the Force be with us.
Welcome to the Spanish Inquisition.
I am a god, even though I'm a man of God.
The second film I'm going to talk about during the winter break is Assassin's Creed. Through a revolutionary technology that unlocks his genetic memories, Callum Lynch experiences the adventures of his ancestor, Aguilar, in 15th century Spain. I'm a fan of this video game series, and this year has been a disappointment when it comes to video game adaptations. But because Michael Fassbender is not only the star of the film, he is also the producer, that he has been spearheading this thing since the beginning. I really hope that this changes the tide of the video game adaptations. This film releases on December 21st.
Hello.
And the final film I'm going to talk to you guys about is a film called Passengers. A spacecraft traveling to a distant colony planet and transporting thousands of people has a malfunction in its sleep chambers. As a result, 2 passengers are awakened 90 years early. With Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, this film has the makings of a great holiday film. But what they are saying during the trailers is what is getting me excited for this film. And this comes to your local theater on December 21st.
There's a reason we woke up early.
With Moana, Miss Sloane, Rogue One, Assassin's Creed, and Passengers coming out this holiday season, you will probably find me at the movie theater most of the time watching these films. This has been Andy Johnson for the Media Outlet. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Andy. Moana looks so cute. It's my favorite coming out over Thanksgiving break, and any movie with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt is a must-see, so I'm super excited to see Passengers over winter break. Now let's pass it on to Trevor Watson for his movie review of Kubo and the Two Strings.
If you must blink, do it now.
Hello everyone, this is Trevor Watson and today's movie review is over Kubo and the Two Strings, a beautifully crafted film by stop-motion studio Laika. Directed by Travis Knight and heavily inspired by Asian cultures, it tells the tale of a young boy named Kubo who takes care of his mother, who is bedridden and lifeless by day and lively by night. On the night of his village's festival celebrating the dead, he's attacked by 2 witches who want to take him back to the moon to live as an immortal with his grandfather, the Moon King. Now, while that sounds like it wouldn't be too bad, he'd have to lose his one remaining eye, the other taken by force when he was a baby. Kubo's mother uses the last of her magic to send Kubo away to find legendary relics his father once had that can protect him from the Moon King's power. Kubo is joined on his travels by a monkey spirit and a man turned into a beetle who had sworn loyalty to Kubo's father. The trio takes on challenges put in place by the Moon King while avoiding the witches in hopes that Kubo can defeat his grandfather. I think the casting might have helped this film make a bigger impression though, with Matthew McConaughey as the beetle and George Takei making a cameo.
I promise I won't even blink. I actually don't think I even can blink. Do I have eyelids?
The performances of these actors are very well done. McConaughey, Charlize, and Art Parkinson make a lively group for this journey, with witty banter that makes light of a dark situation.
Do you need a little help?
No. Yes.
Now the stop motion looks incredible. The hook for this would be Kubo's origami story in the beginning of the film. It's such a beautiful and interactive way to foreshadow many of the hardships that he ends up facing. The stop motion also blends in very well with CG elements during the skeleton fight and any time they're over a body of water. It's hard to see hard effects blend with computer generated effects, so when it's done right, you don't get pulled out of the story with a visual eyesore. Speaking of story, the theme of this movie is the power of memories, and the conflicts with his grandfather and the difficulties his party face do a great job of building up to that theme reveal. However, I do have one qualm with the plot. There is no consequence. Kubo and the Two Strings is the story of a family squabble. You are made to hate his family in the moon and love the people on the earth, and it's easy to do that when we're humans too. But the Moon King kept those artifacts hidden and put down warriors because if they had collected them and gotten too strong, they could destroy the Moon people whenever they felt like it. When he wants to take Kubo's eyes away, it was to keep him from seeing the disgusting things that humans have done to the world and to each other. I mean, Kubo's grandpa is immortal. He's seen humanity grow. He knows what evil we're capable of. If Kubo had lost his quest, he would have personally lost a lot, but no one else would have. In fact, he endangered and burnt down his entire village by bringing the fight to them, and by breaking his mother's rule about staying out too late, which brought the witches to him in the first place. But we tend to overlook these things when perspectives are fixed on the easiest thing to relate to. Kubo is human, like us. Regardless, I think Kubo and the Two Strings is an idealistic film for all ages, and I give Studio Laika a lot of respect for making a film I definitely enjoyed, even with my nitpicking. But that's all for this week. I'm Trevor Watson, and you're watching The Media Outlet.
It's time for us to take a break. We will be right back with The Media Outlet. Welcome back to The Media Outlet. Let's talk about music news. We are going to talk about the top 5 women on Forbes' World's Highest Paid Women in Music list, which was just released last week. At number 5, Beyoncé with $54 million. At number 4, Rihanna with $75 million. At number 3, Madonna with $76.5 million. At number 2, Adele with $80 million. And at number 1, Taylor Swift with $170 million. With Taylor Swift being our highest paid woman in music, she is our celebrity of the week. Taylor Swift just celebrated her 10th anniversary of her debut self-titled album on October 24th. Swift has taken the music world by storm with several top charting albums and amazing tours. Let's take a look on one of her most popular songs, Bad Blood, which music video has just about 1 billion views on YouTube. Bad Blood's music video was one of the most iconic videos of 2015, with the video including several famous women. Let's watch. Now we're going to pass it to Cliff Scott for his album review of Earth by the rapper B.O.B.
What's up, Media Outlet? I'm Cliff Scott, and I will be delivering an album review on B.O.B.
Food should be your medicine. Tesla on Edison. Started dropping elements and shit been crazy ever since. Don't ask me who I'm voting for, a donkey or an elephant. I do not have a preference. Now miss me with that extra shit. I am not a pessimist. I'm just too intelligent. I learn to see the world the way it is and make the best of it. A leader to a state is like a god to a reverend. One hell of an interest, even better when I'm exiting.
B.O.B. just currently released a mixtape titled Earth, which is an acronym for Educational Avatar Reality Training Habitat. Now, before you raise your eyebrows, let me first say that this was one of the best albums I've ever heard. From the extreme lyricism to the opera singing and beautiful sounds of the earth, musically, this album is just a complete package.
False stories of Christopher Columbus holding Pocahontas' hand. Black history is the shortest month. I just hope you understand when the native Indians don't get shit, but Thanksgiving and some yams like, here's a few casinos. Sorry we took all your land. Well, let's just move on because America's great.
B.O.B. has been receiving a lot of headlines lately because of his willingness to expose the government. In this album, he talks about things ranging from the earth being flat to people actually being cloned.
A lot of people that find out about this cloning stuff find it very frightening. And yes, it is scary. And a lot of that fear comes from the fact that we've been programmed to believe that we're the only sentient beings on the planet. On the plane.
One thing I really liked about this album is that he incorporated voiceovers from people who attempted to expose the government also.
My first case of AIDS was cured in 1984. And since then, we've been curing people of lupus and herpes and cancer and blindness. And not one black leader ever said, well, let us help the brother.
Those people include doctors, lawyers, and scientists who all suddenly died or came up missing, which really made me want to hear what the rest of the album was about. The album was released in August of this year as a mixtape on hotnewhiphop.com. It reached over 100,000 views and over 20,000 downloads. Overall, I give the album a 9 out of 10 rating. Even though it was just a mixtape, I would have loved to hear more. Reporting for Media Outlet, I'm Cliff Scott.
Now it's time for another break. Make sure you stay plugged into the Media Outlet. Welcome back to the Media Outlet. Our final segment is TV news. We are going to talk about the top 5 most popular TV shows according to IMDb. At number 5, The Flash. At number 4, American Horror Story. I've heard several mixed reviews over this new season, something about it being too weird and too scary. At number 3, Westworld. At number 2, Black Mirror. At number 1, The Walking Dead. Okay guys, spoil alert coming in 3, 2, 1. Glenn dies! I'm sorry. I haven't got to see the new season yet, but social media has ruined the first episode for me. All I'm asking is that the people keep the spoilers off of Facebook, please and thank you. Now, we are going to take it to Erin Wilkins for her review of the TV show Brickleberry.
Hello everyone, my name is Erin Wilkins with the Media Outlet to tell you about the show Brickleberry, found on Netflix. The show Brickleberry is about failure forest rangers that face the shutdown of their national park. However, a new ranger by the name of Ethel comes along in order to help save the park and fix the rangers. The creator of Brickleberry is indeed Daniel Tosh. I'm sure you've all heard of him. He's the creator of Tosh.0. Brickleberry originally aired in 2012 on Comedy Central and it features 3 seasons. I like this show for all of the reasons that you probably hate it. It's blunt, it's outlandish, it's raunchy, and I absolutely love it. Now, if you don't really know about Daniel Tosh's kind of humor, it's very offensive and super raunchy, so it kind of comes into play in this show. When I say this show takes a special kind of audience, I mean that you have to learn to not get offended by it. It kind of talks about touchy subjects such as rape, abortion, racism, and family issues. This show is a perfect example of using humor to fight your way through sensitive topics. This can also be found in shows like American Dad, Family Guy, BoJack Horseman, and many more. This type of offensive humor comes into play in Season 1, Episode 9 of Brickleberry. Ethel gets involved with Mr. Williams, supposedly Steve's dad, but eventually finds out that he is indeed a bear. Then she jokes and says, "At least he didn't get me pregnant," as she walks away and throws herself down the stairs. There are plenty of people that find themselves in a situation of unwanted pregnancy every single day, and teenagers as well as many other people joke about what they would do if they ever found themselves in a situation like this. Further support for my argument comes in the show BoJack Horseman, Season 3, Episode 6. Famous pop star Sextina Aquafina writes a song about aborting a fetus. Now I'm sure anyone would be offended, especially Diane, who's going through the process of getting an abortion. While she's in the clinic, she talks to a patient and she asks, "Aren't you offended by this? Doesn't the song hurt your feelings?" And the patient said, "No, I'm not offended by it because it's a joke, and finding humor in serious situations like this tends to make it less scary." Another serious issue such as rape arose in Brickleberry. A perverted redneck lures Malloy into his creepy white trailer with candy, and I'm sure you can all assume what happens next. We have all made jokes about the creepy pedophile driving around in a white van trying to lure kids in with candy. Is this type of stuff funny? No, it's definitely not. It's most certainly serious, but we all joke about it. Support for this type of situation comes from Family Guy in Season 13, Episode 1. Stewie makes a rape joke. Now, this episode raised a lot of controversy, but Tim Winter, the president of the Parents Television Council, claimed that making jokes like this made it less outrageous in real life. Overall, I would give this show a 7 out of 10. Yes, it's truly offensive and it does a good job at that. I mean, hello, the creator of it is Daniel Tosh, and he is the king of being offensive. But I love it because it is so straightforward, blunt, and outlandish that you can't help but laugh at it. You're in shock the entire time. Although this is true, some of the raunchiness is a little over the top for me, and the show doesn't really seem to move forward. I hope you guys still consider watching this show. Like I said, it takes a special kind of audience to watch something like this. You have to learn not to get offended. Now, I'm not saying that things like rape, abortion, racism, and family issues are a joke, because they're absolutely not. But I just wanted to let you know that a show like this brings light to situations like this, and also that we use humor and comedic relief to get through stressful, scary, or uncomfortable situations. And also, subjects like this can be found in shows like BoJack Horseman, Family Guy, and American Dad, shows I'm sure you've all watched plenty of times. Thanks for watching, and I hope you check out Brickleberry still, just to understand what I'm talking about. Don't forget to be awesome. This is Erin Wilkins with The Media Outlet.
Thank you, Erin. Now I'm going to talk to you about a TV show that I recommend. The show is called Baby Daddy. A 20-something bachelor bartender becomes an unlikely parent when an ex-girlfriend leaves a baby girl on his doorstep. This show stars Jean-Luc Bilodeau, Derek Feller, and Melissa Peterman. From the very first episode, I fell in love with this show. It's lighthearted and kid-friendly. I absolutely love Melissa Peterman, so I was excited to see her in this. This show just shows you that even the most unexpected circumstances can bring you the biggest blessings. Let's check it out.
Okay, Emma, we were officially late 20 minutes ago, so if we could skip today's game of socks on, socks off, that would be great. Oh, and remember, we have yet another exciting preschool interview after daycare. If they ask you what you consider to be your greatest weakness, smile and look confident. It's not an answer, but it confuses people. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of looking forward to you being someone else's problem for the next 5 hours.
Mama.
Thankfully, she's not our problem anymore.
Mama.
No, sweetheart, not your... Hey, that really is your mama.
Freeze, jerkbag! Your worst nightmare is here.
She got the nightmare part right.
That's all for today's show. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Kaylin Brown. Be sure to check out our Facebook page to keep up with all of our episodes. Also, check out KNWT on Facebook and Instagram to follow all of the Channel 8 shows. See you next week here on the Media Outlet, where you can plug into all of the latest entertainment news.